Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Light back here with another YouTube video. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Wolverine 2013 review here on the channel. So yeah, recently I've been reviewing these X-Men movies, and I guess the Wolverine movies or the X-Men franchise movies. So yeah, I've been reviewing them. If you haven't already, go check out the other reviews. I've already done a bunch of other ones ranging. I've already finished the original trilogy of the X-Men and Wolverine X-Men Origins, and now I'm on this movie. So I'm gonna start off by saying this movie's pretty good. I feel like this movie's very underrated. It's really enjoyable, but I understand why a few people don't like it and stuff. There's valid reasons why. So yeah, I guess let's get into it. So the Wolverine. Uh, let's I guess start off with some of the positives. I guess. The first positives I'm gonna say is just the enjoyable. It's just an enjoyable movie. Um, like if you're watching this and not even looking at it from a cinematic perspective or anything like that, this movie's damn just enjoyable. I remember as a kid I used to watch this movie and thought it was just the coolest. I really enjoyed it when I was like a kid, but as I grew older, I dislike it a little bit more. But I still like the movie. Don't get it wrong. I still like it. It's just from a cinematic perspective and some certain point of views, it's not too good. But I mean, it's a very enjoyable movie. Really, yeah, it's really enjoyable. Just throughout the movie, the whole adventure aspect of it, really enjoyable. Just seeing like all these cinematic shots, the characters, the action, really good. Really enjoyable in that aspect. But I guess let's get on to the second one. The second one's gonna be the story. Now, specifically, I'm not talking, or I guess I'll say this up. I'm talking about the whole story as a whole, and just the way how, from like the action perspective and like the adventure. This movie to me is very much action and adventure, but put in the adventure is a bit elevated in in terms of usually with those kinds of movies, it's mostly the action that's elevated. And don't get me wrong, this movie has a lot of action, really cool, just really interesting. But again, like with the adventure side of it, I really liked how we went all over the multiple places in Japan, from like ranging from like the countryside to the city to mansions, all these different things, and I thought that was really just enjoyable in that aspect as well. Uh, and yeah, story wise, I thought it was they did sorry about that, a pretty good job in terms of just working on a Wolverine film because it's similar to Superman. It's difficult to make a Wolverine film. That's something that everyone should always know is it's very difficult to make a superhero. I mean Superman, sorry, and Wolverine film just because they're invincible and like barely anything can hurt them. But when it does, that's what makes these stories good. So that was another thing. It just showed real costs of like the Wolverine. And don't get me wrong, it's not like don't get it wrong. It's not like Logan. Like Logan's way better in that sense. But this just did a pretty good PG-13 type of this, and just a more actionate job of this than say the other Wolverine movie, which I think was also another flaw with that movie, is it didn't really address that problem, and it was endless fighting, and it wasn't making too much sense. Whereas this, he didn't have his powers for some of the time, and it was high stakes for a bit of it, like especially like closer to the end when he's getting his claws cut off and all that, and he was like getting the mutant power drained out of him. There was real cost to that. Instead, like for example, X Men Origins, everyone was like, he's not gonna die. Like he can't die because of this. But like you knew he wasn't gonna die, but it was still high stakes. You never knew what it could happen. The next one would probably be characters. I was a huge fan of some of these characters in this movie. From Kimiko, she was pretty good. Wolverine, obviously. Uh, Tie-ins with G and Gray. I wasn't. I'll say half and half in terms of the characters because I wasn't an insane fight fan of Cypher or that whole plot twist, but that's another thing. Um, yeah, so that was pretty enjoyable. I guess let's move on to the cinematography. Now, in my opinion, this movie has to be at least a top three in terms of cinematography in the whole X-Men franchise. I thought the cinematography was awesome. They got some great shots of like countryside of Japan. Just that whole sequence at the start where the whole bombing thing. That was some good cinematography. Same with the way they were filming in like when they were in the downtown parts of Japan. I thought that was really good, really well done. That funeral slash when he's chasing over after those guys, those the gangsters or whatever he was chasing after them. That was excellent cinematography as well. Just really well done, hands down, really well done cinematography on the person who was doing it. Really done, well done. All right, sorry about that there, but let's I guess move into the negatives now. Now there's a few negatives that is definitely around. Let's just start off with the villains. In all honesty, this Wolverine movie has its goods, but one thing it's terrible at is the villains. I thought the villains weren't really too good. I mean, I didn't. In all honesty, I didn't really understand the villains. Just I understand that Cipher was supposed to be some villainous mutant, and yeah, she was the villain, as well as like the grandfather at the end. But I'm not exactly too sure exactly how the grandfather even survived. That's one, and exactly just why he's the villain. I thought it was kind of stupidly put. Same with Cipher. I didn't think. I thought she was a side villain at best. I don't think she's a main villain. In all honesty, I did not like that. Not a huge fan of the villain. I thought it was kind of stupid. But I mean, I liked that Kamiko's. I think that's her name. Um, or I'm talking about the boys here. Sorry about that. Uh, Mariko. Sorry. Kimiko's from the boys. My apologies. It's Mariko and Yukio. So I thought they were interesting characters as well. I wouldn't have mind seeing Shingen Yashida as the villain. I thought personally I thought he was gonna be the villain, but I guess I understand why he wasn't because he wouldn't have really been a good villain, just because for the fact that he is a human and he doesn't really have any powers or anything really to stop Logan. So yeah, he would have just ended up dying, and it would have been kind of stupid. So that's something else as well. Um, yeah, let's get into the next negative. Is some of the dialogue. Now I felt as if some scenes had some very unnecessary stuff. Like sometimes with Yukio, I felt like her lines were just kind of useless. I'm not even gonna lie. So some of what she was saying was kind of stupid and just a waste of time. I, in all honesty, as why I didn't understand really why you need to have Jean Grey as a dreams. It didn't fit well with the story. In all honesty, because we know he's supposed to be dealing with the aftermath of the whole Last Stand thing, but like none of this movie he's really doing anything. He's just most of this movie he's just attacking people, but then he gets some random dream from Jean Grey, and I felt like that was kind of stupid in my opinion. I didn't really like that part of it. So yeah, that's another negative. But and other negatives, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna give for my overall rating, I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10, just because it's enjoyable and stuff. It's just the problem really was uh, like the whole villains thing. Like I pretty villains play a big role especially like the superhero genre. So that's the reason why I'm lowering down the rating is just because that plays a key part. Like story and villains will play a big part if in terms of just the way I rate things, just in case you were wondering. So that's why it got an 8.5 out of 10, even though it's got about two flaws. That's the reason why. But anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.